I'm Dorothy Russell, and I want to share with you a tiny step in the development of a piece of textile artwork. This is a piece of work I am returning to. When I first started this piece of work under the title Cynefin, which is a Welsh word which means place where you're comfortable, place where you feel at home. This particular hanging didn't work. I disliked it intensely. I worked on it for a very long time and despised the solid gold chunk. I have returned to it now, having completed two other pieces, quite happily, under the title Cynefin. This one is starting to be something else. It's starting to be a totally different message. It's not entirely comfortable, which may come from the fact that I wasn't entirely comfortable doing it and didn't get to where I hoped to. This is now almost a bird in a gilded cage. The words on it say, "I am not adventurous, here I feel safe." Which is a fair comment, very much about me, but of course, being in a safe zone all the time can be a bit like being a bird in a gilded cage, which comes from the gold. This is now developing bars. So the gold bars run through, and we're going to be able to see through it eventually to a slightly darker area, because the thread's still there, but a darker area where perhaps one ought to go, find out what's out there. Around it are dark blues, swirls of, they're spirals, because there are spirals within spirals within spirals in our lives, and it's a very ancient symbol, which does tend to recur in my work, and I'm just cutting away very carefully pieces of the gold. It's not easy because there are three layers. There's a top layer which has quite a lot of gold acrylic paint on it, a middle layer which is wadding, which is relatively thick, and a backing layer which is cotton fabric. That takes quite a lot of cutting through by the time you're trying to do tiny little pieces, as I am at present. Once I've finished this, I'll tidy up any threads which will carry on appearing for a while, and then I'll start producing a piece of reverse applique, or a piece of fabric to become the reverse applique, so that the number of layers which are going to be behind this are going to be two more. So it's going to be quite a bulky piece of work. And doing this cutting now and tidying it all up so little threads like this one are gone. I will then applique all the layers together and then start considering what happens all the way around here. I'm also going to think of the wadding, whether the wadding around the edges is hidden, or whether, as I have done in the past sometimes, I quilt it. And there is still a lot of work. There are still many, many hours to do on this particular hanging. But with any luck, it will end up in the exhibition in Cardiff next year.